Now I'm going to go over what your clay table looks like with all your final variables and what the prompt and the output looks like for the interior design firms that we did together. Okay, so we basically had already finalized our health, wellness, and fitness. But what I did is I normalized the company name. So for example, like this one says Highland Village, but like I just want to have like Inspired Yoga or the Welfare Pro LLC. Like we don't want to email them with their company name and put like LLC in them, like the studio MDR. We want it to be very normalized, so I normalized all the company names. Um, Another thing that we did is we qualified with this prompt doing the location count, and then we also did a prompt to get all of our variables that we wanted. So all of our reviews, they don't have any quotes on them, so that all of them will look good inside of our copy where we already have the quotes around them. They all seem to be pretty short and concise, so that's something that we wanted too. So I think that those came out really great. When we look at studio type, I scrolled through a bunch and it looks like they really came up with short and sweet studio types. And then the studio offer, now that I noticed, like some of them have periods, some of them have like weird uppercase punctuality. We took that out of our copy, so that's not really a problem right now. So we weren't going to use studio offer, but we'll still bring that under the contact when we import into SuperSend. And then the city we also normalized as well. Like I think all of these would fit perfectly fine inside of our copy. Agree?
Can we manually edit any of these?
Yeah, why?
So, for example, like if Florida is spelt out, I feel like that just sounds really formal and longer than necessary in the example that you showed me, where there was like a city and then the state. Or I just saw like San Francisco and Oakland, we could just say the Bay Area, or like
The,
North Miami Beach. Why not just Miami?
I get what you're saying. You don't live there. So being more specific, it just shows that like you are paying attention, like it's attention to detail.
I mean, we're good. We're doing all this personalization to like make it sound like me in my voice, but I would never say like, "Do you want to be the best fitness gym in Turlock, California?"
Okay, so one thing that we can do then is we can add a column and you don't want any of the comma states after. Is there anything else that you notice that you wouldn't want? Or is that kind of it?
Yeah, I just don't really want there to be states, and I guess if we can't manually edit these.
We can mass edit them with a prompt.
Okay, so if we do a mass edit, I would want to get rid of any mentions of states unless like the state is their only location
Okay.
information provided. Could you include like in the Irvine one, writing out the California like as a state? Because there was a few that I saw the state name like fully typed out, and I don't know if this would like change things for the prompt. Yeah.
I like the multiple cities. I think you should keep the multiple cities.
Agreed.
But we could do if multiple cities are suburbs or neighborhoods of a larger metro area. No, I think we should just add these three.
Because I do think that suburbs and neighborhoods are weird. Like, for example, in Sacramento, there's like smaller pockets of neighborhoods, like
Okay, but what it did was it extracted from the internet the locations that
the city names that
the
the
city
business.
names that the actual studios are in.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so abbreviate, remove state names if there are multiple cities listed.
You can just get rid of that one, yeah. Shouldn't New York City and Brooklyn stay the same too? NYC and Brooklyn? Because we wanted the multiple city
Yeah.
location.
But the example that was given was Brooklyn, New York, and New York City. So I'm just gonna,
Oh.
but there's a comma, so like that would be different.
JSON. What is JSON? Like a code for AI?
Yeah, it's a type of code. I hope it keeps Atlanta metro area.
I
But
feel like it would because it we didn't give it anything to change a area description. I don't know.
okay, I have a call in 4 minutes, unfortunately. This flew by
Okay.
really fast.
Do you want to do anything else?
So we got that city taken care of. I realized that I needed to actually normalize the first name because these are coming from LinkedIn. So there was like Matthew D. So I normalized the first name. I cleaned the job title. So instead of saying like most presidents and CEOs I speak with, it says most
Yeah.
owners I speak with. So I normalized the job title, and then obviously like not all of these people have a valid work email. So we're only going to be importing the people that have valid work emails. So it definitely like reduces the list a lot
Okay.
when that happens. So for companies, architecture, we normalize the company name. For our emails, we'll bring over Well, we'll all bring over that city normalization prompt into this prompt as well, but the designer type turned out really well. I looked through all of them or most of them, and it seems like it's exactly kind of like what we want. It's like kind of if it can be specific, it's like a little bit more specific.
Cool. So
For
it's not
example,
just
like
interior
residential or
design.
luxury interior showrooms.
Awesome. So it won't just say interior
Yeah,
design.
boutique interior design studio or boutique interior design firm. Like it's using their language on how they talk about themselves. So it looks like all of these places also like reviews, really easy to find. And then I'll add that city as well. For the people table, I used a prompt and it's also inside of our studio rain on what I added. It's under personas. But if you just scroll down, the personas, this is kind of like what we talked about. But really what I just did is I included all of these for now. And then if the campaign is going really well, we can always run a new campaign. Like for example, like your specific packages that you're offering, like maybe they do, maybe the interior designer or the design principal or design lead, like maybe these people like are people that we would want to reach out to. That's like a second campaign that we could run and we could adjust the wording to make it more like applicable to them. But I didn't include any of these.
Okay.
So
I do feel like, was there a principal designer in that one, like that
yeah,
list that you included?
yeah.
Okay, I thought I wanted to make sure because if if somebody has like a smaller business like mine where it's just them or like a team of 2 to 5,
Hmm.
um, they might not always be calling themselves like a CEO. Like I don't, even
For
though I
sure.
am. So I want to make sure that there's like a
Well, there's owner, there's founder, co-owner. Yeah.
I just want to make sure like anyone like if someone calls themselves an interior designer online, like
Hmm.
to show that's what they do, I want to make sure if they're a business owner, they're being reached out to also.
Well, basically, all of these job titles are coming from their LinkedIn,
Okay, cool.
but then I'm normalizing them so that it says president. Like I'm normalizing them for their industry.
Okay.
Like it is like doing research on their company, on their LinkedIn, like, and I also inputted the sentence it needs to fit into. So it's not going to say like most co-founders and CEOs I talk to, it's going to say most business owners.
Okay. One quick thing before you have to go for the health and wellness studios type,
Hmm.
notice that all like I noticed almost all of those are plural with an S at the end,
Where,
and we don't want that because
where?
of the way we wrote studio type centers.
Well, they have multiple centers.
I know, but it's so it should be fine in our copy. Let me just double check. I just don't want it to sound grammatically incorrect.
Oh, because it says it.
So, for example, we say your studio type offers.
Your
So,
assisted stretch centers.
offer. So,
Okay, make a note of that.
okay.
Make a note of that, and we can edit before we launch.
Sounds good.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.